Hey up guys, welcome back to another video on my Final Fantasy VII Remake Platinum Walkthrough. We're on chapter 11 now, and I'll just show my setup. So we've got Fire linked to Elemental on Cloud, and he's got Bahamut and First Strike. He's got Hard Edge, Chain Banger and Fury Ring. Tifa, she's got Metal Knuckles, Geometric Bracelet and Fury Ring. She's got Magnify linked to Fire, HP Absorb linked to Fire and MP Absorb linked to Fire. She's also got Parry Materia, she's got Fat Chocobo Summoning, and she's got A to B Assist and First Strike. Now Aerith, she's got the Mithril Rod, Force Bracelet and Fury Ring. She's got Fire linked to Elemental in her attack, just like Cloud. She's also got the Chocobo and Moogle materia, Summoning Materia. She's got both magic ups, and she's also got the Refocus. Now I'll get onto the actual weapon upgrade nodes that I've selected, just to make sure we're sort of on the right track. This little mini boss fight at the start of this, I thought I was going to have no trouble, but it took me quite a while to optimise this. So main core, I've got everything except for that last one. Subcore 1, we've got attack and Punisher mode attack. That's what we've got in Subcore 2. Subcore 3, everything except for limit break damage. And Subcore 4, everything except for critical hit rate and the CNAS connected material slot. Sorry I'm going a bit quick there, I couldn't even keep up with myself. So I'm doing this post commentary sort of thing. Metal Knuckles with Tifa, she's got everything in the main core. Subcore 1, she's got only attack damage. Mainly we just got all the sort of main attack damage, speed and the material slots, guys, basically. Subcore 3, everything except for concentration, activation. Yes, that was everything I tried to say then. Everything there except for the defense, and everything in this one except for the last connected node. And finally, on to Aerith, the Mithril Rod. So, main core, she's got everything. Subcore 1, she's got everything. Subcore 2, she's got everything except for the defense and the limit break. And Subcore 3, everything except for debuff and the last connected material slot. Yeah, it's always sort of the same across all my weapons, guys. Always weapon, attack, speed, materia, and sometimes like, oh yeah, and we're just putting Tifa as the leader here, guys, very important. Yeah, and anything that sort of increases like MP percentage and stuff, damage. And here I just want to show you something about her abilities. Her Focus Strike, so she's got A to B assist, which means when she uses two commands back to back, it gives A to B to other allies. Now with Focus Strike, it doesn't quite work properly. For it to work, you have to punch normally a few times in between each one, and that's normally with square. So you normally do Focus Strike, square a few times, and then Focus Strike in order to trigger the A to B assist. So make sure you always remember that, guys, when doing Focus Strike with Tifa. Focus Strike, square a few times, and then Focus Strike again really quick. So first of all, I just build up Tifa's ATBs, and never use triangle on this because these guys are quite difficult to hit with triangle. Always use square when just using normal hits. So always build up Tifa's 2 ATB gauges to begin with. As you see, I've got no weaknesses. I've just gone with fire because it hits nice. So build up 2 ATBs of Tifa, and then once you have, use Unbridled Strength times 2. That'll give ATB to your allies as well. And then after that, keep pressing square to build up ATB again. Do not use your Rise before enemy strikes, save them. And then as soon as you've got 2 ATBs back, just from normal square attacks, use normal fire times 2 magnified. And that should stagger a few of the ghosts. Should stagger a few of them. There we go. And Enigmactor will become pressured. He only becomes pressured when the other ones are staggered, by the way. And as soon as he's pressured, we want Aerith to use Fire level 3, Cloud Focus Thrust, Aerith again Fire level 3, and Cloud another Focus Thrust. And while they're doing that, just attack normally with Tifa to build up your ATBs. So just keep doing that, and that should stagger her. So 2 Focus Thrust with Cloud, and 2 Fire level 3s with Aerith, and we're sort of alternating them, and that should stagger him. As soon as he's staggered, 2 True Strikes as Tifa, and then use her triangle attacks for Rise and Fall and Omni Strike, and that should kill it. That should kill it. If you don't do it that way, it can be quite difficult. And the main thing is, if you kill the ghost too quick and you don't stagger them, then that Enigmatic can be quite difficult. That's why I actually used Tifa to stagger them as opposed to Aerith, because Aerith kills them too quick because her magic is just naturally too high. So I go with Tifa, she staggers them before she kills them, and then we just punish the enigmatic Spectre, stagger him, and then True Strike ×2 and Rise and Fall and Omni Strike, and it's near enough dead. So what we've got to do now is get to the top of the tower, guys, the pillar, and we've got Rude and Reno to fight together. And that's going to be very interesting. So there's a bench here, and there's a bench right at the top, and I'll show you where MP place is at the top, where you're going to be your last MP you find, because you do want sort of full MP, sort of for the boss. We don't use too much MP, but you want to make sure you've got a good amount of it. But I'll show you the last crates at the top if you want to farm Mako. So you're going to come across a lot of enemies that are sort of weak to fire, and you're going to come across some drones as well, humans and mechanical mechanoids, or whatever you want to call it. They're what you're going to come up against on the way up. You're going to come across some shock troopers, the heli troopers, and they're quite difficult as you remember. So really you want Cloud with a mithril saber, so just more magic attack, and then you want him on magnified fire, fire with MP absorb and fire with HP absorb. And then with Tifa you can lob elemental and fire on Tifa. Yeah, put both magic ups on Cloud as well, just like I'm doing. And that's sort of going to be a build going up. So when you come across enemies, just lob of magnified fire on them and just keep hitting them with fire until they're dead. The mechanoid enemies, they should go down pretty quick anyway. They shouldn't pose too much trouble. And you don't come across many of them anyway. There are some enemies you can avoid. Like to begin with, you can just keep running up the steps and you can avoid the first few enemy encounters. And there's a few, you can't avoid every single one, but most of them you can. But I'll sort of skip ahead, guys, and I'll show you what you have to fight and what you can avoid. You can keep heading up until you come across the right shield enemies, and then you won't be able to head up anymore because there'll be some debris blocking the stairs. You have to kill these, and then you'll be able to climb under the debris, and you find your friend upstairs. After leaving your friend, don't try and run past any enemies until you climb the next ladder, because they'll all sort of group up on you all at once at the top when you get to the ladder, and you'll sort of just be outnumbered up here with all heli troopers and ground troopers as well. So take care of any enemies as you reach them until you climb the next ladder, guys, and then you should come across some more that you can run past. Eventually, after you head up the steps some more. After climbing that ladder, you come up some steps, there'll be a cutscene, then you'll take control of Aerith. You know what to do with Aerith. There's no enemies to fight. Just make your way through the slums and rescue whoever you can, and then you'll be back as Cloud. Once back as Cloud and Tifa, you can actually run past the next sort of 2 or 3 enemy encounters. So you just run around here and straight up the steps. Yeah, you come across a few, but you can run straight past them. Yeah, so just keep heading up. Come up here, fleeing. You can run past these things as well. Just up the stairs, there'll be some enemies you have to fight. And we just got a Mako shard there. Did you see? That's one of the last crates you get Mako shard from. So if you're really low on MP, you're going to kill them down there, just so you can get some Makos back, guys. These right shields, you'll have to kill these, because there's a counter we have to vault over. And we actually got a Mako shard there as well. So there is the actual last place you get Mako shard, just near where the right shield enemies were from, guys. So yeah, if you need Mako, either get it from there, and you can also run down and get the Mako from down below as well, make it a little bit quicker. But you should be, if you've been using MP absorb, you should be near full. So all this ladder now, and we're going to get one more batch of enemies. Well, 2 more. There's a batch of enemies here, and then another small batch, and then we've got the bosses, guys. So we're going to get ambushed in a minute by a helicopter, and you need to hide behind a pillar first, because it can kill you pretty quick, the helicopter can. So you hide behind a pillar, well, you kill the enemies, hide behind a pillar, then wait for some more enemies to appear, and then kill them as well. Yes, here they are, the right shield, guys. Get rid of these, and then they should go down pretty quick. There we go, and here we use some nice health and MP as well. So hide behind the pillar, block, just in case you do get caught with anything. Yeah, helicopter coming, there it comes. So make sure you hide. I tried blocking in the open, and you just get destroyed. You get riddled with bullets, bullet holes. So eventually some other enemies will come in, some of the shock troopers. and the heli troopers as well. So just be ready for them. Here they come. So try and make quick work of these because they can kill you pretty quick, and they hit quite hard. They do. Yeah, so fire, just love fire at them. Got an elite grenadier as well. What I'm doing here, I'm just waiting for the elite grenadier to drop out so I can get them both with the magnified fire. Here he comes. Nice for him to drop in. Yeah, so get rid of him, and yeah, that's almost finished him off as well. Yes, and once you got rid of them, head upstairs, and then you come across the last normal enemy encounter, and you have some shock troopers here and some actual drones. So you can die here if you're not careful. Just quickly get rid of the enemies. You may want to use a higher level fire here. I'd just be careful because you don't want to actually use too high level and not get enough MP back and be low for the boss fight. But a normal fire actually does quite a lot of damage to him. And then quickly onto the turrets, get rid of them. After these there will be a bench we can rest at, so don't worry about your health, it's a bit low by the way. There is last heli trooper, well there's two actually. Yeah, so magnified fire. There we are, one more left. And that is it, the last of the enemy mobs. So over the beam now guys. Remember, if you do need MP, you can always head down a step or so and get MP from the crates from earlier. So just head up here now, you see your friend, and up to the bench guys, and then I'll talk to you about the boss fight, which is going to be very, very interesting, fighting Rude and Renault at once. Just keep going up guys, and you get to this bench, yes, and after this, go up the steps, but just before you get to the top, just hold on a minute, because we're just going to go through a boss fight, and I'm going to make sure you're built properly. Welcome to my guide for the Rude and Renault fight on chapter 12. Now I'm going to go over the materia and build our use weapon. If I go over a bit too quick, just pause the video so you can see what I'm doing, or play it in a slower speed. So the materia wise, on Cloud, his equipment, we've got Hard Edge, Chain Bangle and Fury Ring. He's got wind material, these all need to be maxed by the way. Steadfast block, HP up ×2. Behemoth materia and the summoning, and he's got lightning linked to elemental in the armor to absorb. Tifa, Metal Knuckles, Geometric Bracelet, Fury Ring. Wind materia, parry materia, first strike, A to B assist, HP up ×2, and Fat Chocobo. Barret, EKG cannon, Force Bracelet and the Fury Ring. He's got wind materia, steadfast block. He's also got assess, forget about assess, I need that, binding, HP up ×2, Leviathan, first strike, and he's got elemental link to lightning as well, like Cloud. Yeah, forget about assess, I need it because I need to actually assess his enemy. Yeah, you don't need that. So that's a minimalistic thing. You can add a few things on there if you want, but that's sort of what you need. Tifa wants to be your leader, and mainly what we're going to be doing is skating around a lot, dodging as Tifa and using certain attacks, but I'll explain it all to you guys. So weapon wise, that's what we've got on the Hard Edge. Subcore 1, that's what we've got. Subcore 2, everything except for Stagger Siphon. Subcore 3, everything except Limit Break, and Subcore 4, everything except Critical Hit Rate and the connected materia slot. Like I say, if I'm going a bit too fast guys, just pause it or play the video slower, but this ain't too important, but it's just so you can see and make sure you're all on the right track. Subcore 1, only attack damage with Tifa and Metal Knuckles. Subcore 2, everything. Subcore 3, everything except for concentration activation. Subcore 4, everything except for defense, and Subcore 5, everything except for the last connected materia slot. And for Barret, EKG cannon. So similar to the rest, similar attributes you're going for. So main core, everything except for critical hits. I don't like to go for critical hit rates by the way, because it's sort of random and I don't want to rely too much on RNG. Subcore 2, everything except critical hit damage, and Subcore 3, everything except for critical hit rate and that last materia slot. Right, let's head up the stairs and say hello to Rude and Renault again. Let's finish them off for good this time. So I'm going to pause this guys and sort of try and break this down where I can. So straight away, as soon as the fight begins, you need to dodge away with Tifa, dodge away with her. Yes, they're his attacks, mainly melee based, but he does do some lightning, which is why I've put Elemental Absorb on Cloud and Barret, just help them survive a bit longer. So we dash away first, and we just basically dash away from his attacks for that parry slide until he sort of does the upcut and he becomes paused for a few seconds. There's a few other attacks where he sort of becomes paused for a few seconds at the end of it, and when he does that, that's when we move in close and build up our ATB. And there's only sort of a few ways to pressure him. The main way is to use a wind attack, but you have to make sure he stays in place for you to use it, and that's why we always wait until after he's used a move and he's still. So he's used that move, he's still for a few seconds. So I've built up my ATB, and what I'm quickly doing, I'm doing an arrow, level 1, and then focus strike straight after that. And what happened, because I hit him with wind as he was at the end of an attack and he's sort of stunned for a few seconds, you have to do it then, otherwise he'll move out of the way and the wind won't hit him properly, because it's that last sort of impact of the wind spell which launches him and pressures him. And because of focus strike, he launches towards a target that uses the spell. He launches towards Tifa, and then she uses focus strike and pressures him a bit more. So that's what I've done there, and that's what we do throughout this fight. So arrow and with focus strike straight after, and that'll give ATB assist to your allies as well. And then while that's happening, you have to be really quick. Use focus shot with Barret. Like I say, you have to be really quick here. And again, we're just dodging away from his attacks, and then moving in close afterwards, attacking. And whenever we have 2 ATB gauges, you always need 2 ATB gauges when doing this. So again, just arrow and then a focus strike. Remember, he needs to be stunned at the end of an attack for a few seconds when you do it. Do not do it in between attacks. Wait till after he's done an attack, and then if you do that, you should pressure him and stagger him, and then shortly after he's staggered, you should be able to knock him into his next phase. When I got that focus shot in with Barret, you have to do that as soon as he sort of leaves, as soon as he launches. If you do it too early, too late, it either won't track him properly, or he will be unpressured. He will come out of the pressure state just as it lands. So basically, when he launches, you can slow time down as he's flying through the air. When he's sort of hot, when he's starting to drop down in the air, you'll see him, he'll launch and he'll start to go down. That's when you use Barret's focus shot. And then once the helicopter appears, have Tifa roll away, then Cloud, then Barret, then have Barret use the overcharge and build up 2 ATB gauges. And as soon as that happened, change back to Tifa and get ready for him to jump over here. And you have to be really quick here. As soon as you can lock onto him, quickly use wind and use focused. You have to be really quick here, guys, because if you're not quick, he begins his pyramid attack, and if he begins that, he cannot interrupt it, and it ruins your momentum. And normally, if you interrupt his pyramid attack, it'll do sort of any normal attack first, and then he'll do it again. So again, straight after his normal attack, you need to be ready here. And what I do here, if I messed it up, I actually use Cloud. So if Tifa actually got attacked, I actually use Cloud. Yeah, because if Tifa gets attacked, you won't react quick enough with her, and then he'll get that pyramid off. So I'll either use Tifa as soon as she's done that next attack, arrow and a focus strike. But if Tifa gets hit on this attack, use Cloud, arrow, and then focus thrust with Cloud instead. Remember, if you do not do it quick enough, he'll begin pyramid again. So that's why we need to be ready with Cloud, just in case Tifa gets attacked. So that's it, and then again, straight back to Tifa while he's sort of staggered, pressured, and normally that will knock him into that sort of phase, and Rude will come back. And yes, I'm assessing Rude because I have it, and once Rude comes back, you want to build up some ATB now. Yeah, build up some ATB. With Barret, there we go, just keep attacking him. As long as Tifa's got her ATBs and Barret has, you should be good, guys. So just keep hitting him, and eventually, yes, that will happen. Back to Tifa. Be ready straight away. Go back to Tifa. Yes, very important. Straight away, back to Tifa, guys.
Damn it!
And straight after this, we're actually going to use Sleep on Rude. Now, sometimes this doesn't land. Sometimes it doesn't land. Actually, when he goes to do Pyramid on Rude's second phase as well, Reyno's second phase as well, sorry. You know when he can cast Pyramid? Sometimes when I hit him with wind, it doesn't quite work and he does Pyramid anyway. So just bear that in mind. But the same amount can happen here. Sometimes this may not land, most of the time it does. So straight away, Barret and cast Sleep on Rude. Just so you've got only Reno to take care of. And back to normal, just dodge Reno's attacks. Wait for him to pause at the end for a few seconds. There we go. Moving close. Build at your ATBs. If not, if you haven't built him much, just move out and dodge again. But once you have him and he's stunned for a moment at the end of an attack, arrow, focus strike, and while he's pressure, you can see him there, he's flying through the air. As he's about to go down, we use focused shot with Barret. And then back to Tifa again. See, that focus shot just hit him then. Back to Tifa again. Same sort of thing. I don't really use Cloud, save Cloud. And what I do with Cloud, I actually use Cloud. I use this Infinity's End when it's pressured. So you may or may not have noticed when the enemy's pressured or staggered, I'm actually using Cloud's Infinity End. There you go, does lots of damage. So yeah, use Infinity End, not when they're pressured, sorry, when they're staggered. So I always save Cloud for that. I save Cloud for Infinity's End and for in phase 2 when you may have to use him like we did because Tifa got attacked. And then once Reno is dead, you need to be quick and then you can actually get to Rude before he wakes up. If he does wake up in time, you want to put him back to sleep because he can block the wind attacks and they won't launch him. But if you use when he's asleep, it will always launch him. And he can stagger him straight away as long as you hit him with a double focus shot off Barret. You need to make sure you hit him with the wind while he's still asleep though. Or like I say, you block it. And then normally a wind focus strike from Tifa and then a double focus shot from Barret will stagger him. And then once you're staggered, you know what to do. 2 true strikes with Tifa. Well, you know what to do, follow the other guides. 2 true strikes with Tifa and then Infinity's End as Cloud. And then just keep smashing him to bits and he should die pretty quickly, guys. And yeah, that is it for the boss fight. You're pretty much at the end of the chapter now. You just go and talk to Tifa and that's it, guys. Chapter 12 and my boss fight for Rude and Reno. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you on the next video.